What is up, boys and girls? We are back. Today, I want to be talking about a number of issues in the lightweight division because, man, it's looking very weird right now. I gotta say, towards the top of the lightweight division, there's a logjam going on, dude. There's a number of contenders. Who knows who should fight for the title next? Everyone, if you asked everyone, they have a different opinion. Today, I'm gonna be telling you guys how I feel about each lightweight contender and just how worthy they are of getting a title shot. So before we get into that, though, make sure to subscribe, dude. We're at like 856 subscribers right now, a rough estimate, of course. It takes 1 second to subscribe. It would mean a lot if you just go ahead and subscribe. You just click that button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, man, let's talk about it. The first person I have that I want to talk about today, it's this man, Arman Tsarukyan. At first it was funny. It was okay. Arman Tsarukyan, this is his own doing, right? He pulled out of UFC 311. He did this to himself. But now it's kind of getting to the point where, okay, it's been well over a year since Arman Tsarukyan's last fight at UFC 300. That was April of last year. We're literally in July of this year. We're about to go into August, and we still have zero fight news on Arman Tsarukyan. It's getting scary. It genuinely is getting scary because whether you love Arman Tsarukyan, whether you hate Arman Tsarukyan, you have to realize that this guy is one of the best 155ers in the world. He beat Charles Oliveira. He clearly beat Charles Oliveira. He's beat a numerous amount of guys. He beat Gamrot. That was robbery. I don't care. He beat Beneil Dariush. Clearly. Knocked him out, I believe. And you got to realize that, well, if the UFC keeps treating Arman Tsarukyan like this, keeps not doing anything for him, keeps not giving him the title shot, well, then we might lose one of the best fighters in this division in the world. Like, that's a serious issue we have here. The UFC is known for doing it. If the UFC doesn't like a contender, well, then they'll just cut him. We've seen it before, dude. They were about to cut Colby Covington back in the day. They cut Jairzinho Rozenstruik. They cut Muhammad Mokaev. And the Muhammad Mokaev cut, that was in a division that's not so shallow, or a very shallow division, I should say. And the Rozenstruik one, that was also in a division that's not very lengthy, dude. Heavyweight division. We don't have a lot of contenders. The UFC were not afraid to cut Jairzinho or Rozenstruik, and that scares me because at 155, we have a lot of contenders. And if the UFC feels the need to, there is a genuine possibility that they could cut Arman Tsarukyan from the roster. There is a genuine possibility that Arman Tsarukyan could leave on his own. I mean, after getting disrespected this much for the last year and a half, I wouldn't doubt it. It's not too far out of the equation. And gosh, I might even do the same thing. If I was given a title shot, I had to pull out, and then they just don't reschedule me. They don't give me any fights. They just continue to disrespect me for a year and a half. Well, then I might have to leave the UFC, dude. Arman Tsarukyan is the clear-cut number one contender in the 155 division. That is a fact. You cannot deny that. He beat Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira just got a title shot somehow. I think you guys know where I'm coming from here. Like, Arman Tsarukyan, dude, his only legitimate loss in the UFC is to Islam Makhachev. The Gamrot loss doesn't count. That was a robbery. I'll say it before. I'll say it again. He realistically only has one loss in the UFC, and that was a short notice loss to Islam Makhachev on his debut. People need to understand this man is on a crazy winning streak right now. He's beaten some of the best guys in the division. He's a marauder, some of the best ground and pound, some of the best wrestling. Probably one of the hardest matchups at 155 for any champion. When we were going into that 311 fight, everyone was talking about Arman Tsarukyan like, bro, this guy is clearly going to be the hardest matchup for Islam Makhachev. And now, all of a sudden, we're pretending like that never happened. We're pretending like Arman Tsarukyan, bro. We all know what would have happened if that Islam Makhachev fight happened. Like, no, we don't. People are betting thousands of dollars on Arman Tsarukyan, dude. People were genuinely putting a lot of money on Arman Tsarukyan. A lot of people predicted Arman Tsarukyan to win that fight. I was close to predicting Arman Tsarukyan for that fight. And now, all of a sudden, just because he missed weight, or it was a back issue, whatever you want to call it, now we're pretending like this guy proposes no threat whatsoever to Islam Makhachev. I know Islam Makhachev's not the champion at 155 anymore. Ilia is. But still, dude, Arman Tsarukyan's a tough matchup for anyone. That's just a fact, dude. Whoever it is, dude. Islam Makhachev, Ilia Topuria, dude. Charles Oliveira, he's a tough matchup for you. That's a fact. Arman Tsarukyan is one of the best 155ers in the world. He's one of the best fighters in the world. And right now, we are at genuine risk of losing him, and that scares me. So, Whatever happens, happens, of course. If the UFC wants to keep playing, they want to keep being bitter, they want to keep being, like, holding grudges, they can. At the end of the day, Dana White is known for holding grudges. But we could be losing one of the best fighters in the world, and that is something that scares me. Arman Tsarukyan should be getting a title shot next. That's just my opinion. And if you disagree, let me know down below in the comment section, dude. The next thing I want to talk about in this video, it's Justin Gaethje. Because Justin Gaethje, I actually believe he deserves a title shot. And I know. I know what you're thinking. Initially, right after I said it, you're probably thinking I'm stupid. You're probably thinking I'm an idiot. I think right behind Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje is there. Arman Tsarukyan, he deserves the title shot the most. 100% it should go to Arman Tsarukyan. But if the UFC wants to hold that grudge, if the UFC wants to keep playing these games with Arman Tsarukyan, well then, okay, it should go to Gaethje. It should go to Justin Gaethje. And let me explain why. Justin Gaethje was on a crafty little win streak. I don't know, I think it was 2 or 3 fight winning streak. He had beat Dustin Poirier. He had beat Rafael Fiziev. And the UFC gave him the Max Holloway fight. And he wasn't going to accept it at first. He was just going to turn it down. He was going to wait out for the title shot because he was promised a title shot. The UFC promised Justin Gaethje a title shot. But no, the UFC came to Justin Gaethje's house. They offered the guy a lot of money. They offered him a lot of money. And Gaethje took it. Gaethje took it. He gave the UFC a chance. He gave the UFC something. This is Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, the fighter. He did a favor for the UFC. Obviously, the fight didn't go his way. Okay, that's fair. He lost that fight. Just coming off of that fight, he shouldn't get a title shot. But Justin Gaethje just beat Rafael Fiziev. He beat Rafael Fiziev. He's not just directly coming off that loss to Max Holloway. He's on a 1-fight winning streak, and I think he has, in his last 4 fights, he is 3-1. Don't forget that, dude. Charles Oliveira, the man who just got a title shot, beat Michael Chandler and fought Ilia before that he had lost to Arman Tsarukyan. Why are you not holding that? Why are you not holding the same thing for Justin Gaethje? Justin Gaethje, he got beat by Max Holloway, and then he beat Rafael Fiziev, and now all of a sudden, Justin Gaethje is so far away from a title shot. Now all of a sudden, Justin Gaethje does not deserve a title shot whatsoever. Just because you are a fan of Charles Oliveira, just because Charles Oliveira is one of the most loved fighters in the UFC right now, does not mean you get to discredit Justin Gaethje for his title shot. Does not mean that. That is completely unfair. If you ask me, Rafael Fiziev is a better win than Michael Chandler in today's day and age. Rafael Fiziev is in his prime. Michael Chandler's never been in his prime in the UFC. Justin Gaethje was coming off the better win than Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira got the title shot. At first, I think Charles Oliveira, yeah, it's okay. He could have got the title shot. That makes sense. But now we're talking about it. If Arman Tsarukyan is not going to get the title shot, Justin Gaethje should get the title shot. Justin Gaethje is coming off a nice win to what's the kid's name? Rafael Fiziev. Justin Gaethje is coming off a nice win to Rafael Fiziev, and I see no reason why he does not deserve a title shot. You cannot call him. There's no other contender that deserves it. Because if you are saying this man deserves it, well then you're an idiot. You are an idiot, and I could rant all day about this. I could rant all day about how much I do not believe Paddy Pimblett should be getting a title shot. Will I do that? Yes. You know what? Yes, I will, dude. I'm gonna be going on for an hour, dude. Obviously, I'm joking, but I'm gonna rant a little bit about this fight. Not a lot. I don't want to waste your time here. I want you to subscribe. I want you to become interested in this channel. Paddy Pimblett does not deserve it. Please, please, please. Why are we giving Paddy Pimblett a title shot? He's ranked like 8th. I don't care if he has hype. I don't care if this is the fight to make. I don't care if this is the press conference, bro. If the press conference is going to be fire. If the UFC press conference is the biggest excitement for this fight, well, then you have bigger problems. If you think this fight should happen next, well, then you're a casual. You're a dirty casual. You look at Paddy Pimblett's last 3 wins. They're on a 13-fight losing streak combined. Tony Ferguson, King Green, Michael Chandler. Are you serious? Are you seriously going to give another guy a title shot after beating Michael Chandler? Michael Chandler's last win was Tony Ferguson. Michael Chandler is like 13th in the division right now. Michael Chandler's on the verge of being unranked. Paddy Pimblett beat someone who was on the verge of being unranked, and we want to give him a title shot? Justin Gaethje beat Rafael Fiziev. Rafael Fiziev, although his ranking says 10, we know Rafael Fiziev is somewhere near the top 5. I mean, his ranking doesn't really display that. Rafael Fiziev was on a pretty bad losing streak. He lost to Justin Gaethje, obviously, in that first fight a couple years ago. Then he lost to Gamrot. That was just a very unfortunate loss. And he came back. He lost to Gaethje again. his ranking does not display what his actual ranking is. You know, Justin Gaethje, both of those fights were close, and the Gamrot fight was an injury loss. That is a good win. Gaethje has 2 wins over Rafael Fiziev. Both of those wins are good wins. Versus Paddy Pimblett coming off a win over Michael Chandler, who hasn't won since Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is now retired, and he's facing Salt Poppy in a boxing match. And I understand, you're probably thinking, well, Justin Gaethje, he's one of the most annoying fighters ever. And you can say that, dude. You can say that Justin Gaethje, he's came out in the last couple months, and he's revealed a side of him we've not really seen. He's saying he's going to retire if he doesn't get the title shot. And I understand where you're coming from, dude. He's kind of annoying in that regard. But he does deserve the title shot. If we're not going to give it to Arman Tsarukyan, it should go to Justin Gaethje, and then maybe Paddy Pimblett should be third in line. That's just my opinion, boys. If you guys agree, let me know down below. Dude, if I'm an idiot, let me know down below. And thank you, boys, for watching. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, boys. I just got the news earlier. Pretty gut-wrenching news, but yeah, man, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. MMA Outpost out.